Welcome to the Home Coach Podcast, a weekly deep dive into all things real estate. Now, here's your host, Steve Henyon.
This week, we're going to be talking about the economy and how and if we need to be adjusting anything in our business model for the short term and or the long term. What are the impacts of some of the data that have come out this week? The first piece of information that I want to deliver to you guys is that on August 31st, so Tuesday, information came out that home prices continue to go at record paces, which we've already known. We're all experiencing this across the country on it. But now how much? Well, year to date, we're at 18.6. So year over year, from a year from before to now, we've home prices are increasing 18.6%. If you take the top 20 cities out there, that price increase goes up slightly bit to 19.1% is what that where we're at. In the sector, the area of the country where we have the strongest prices increases is going to be in the Midwest, where we have Idaho, Utah, Arizona, and then Montana, followed by a northeastern side of Rhode Island. So pretty strong. We all knew that the pricing is in there, just confirmed that for us that we're growing between 18 and 19%. The next one, though, kind of runs contrary to the strength of the economy, so to speak. We've got high prices going up in there, but now I'm about to share with you that actually our jobs numbers are down. So what we've got as of ADP, the payroll company, came out on Wednesday and said that we have a jobs increase of 374,000, but that was on an expectation of 638,000. So we missed the jobs mark by about 300,000 on that. And the growth, where we did see the most growth on that, was going to be in the service sector, primarily in restaurants, where places have started to open up. It's gotten a little more out. COVID restrictions have loosened up in many places across the country. People were out going in restaurants. This is where the jobs are coming. Not in all the high paying areas that you would hope for in order to fuel the pricing that you would see that we're already seeing on the 18, 19% range, okay? It said that while we have those job growths, we've gained 4 million jobs over the last year, but we're still 7 million jobs shy of where we needed to be pre-COVID. Okay, so what do we have? We've got pricing going up through the roof. We've got jobs holding barely above water to where we need to be in order to fuel this inflationary numbers that are out there. And we know, from your housing, it's not just housing that's increasing out there. The shortage in cars, the pricing. Now people are overpaying cars as much as they're overpaying in houses out there. There's a shortage of or inflationary numbers on just about everything across the board. Well, how are we going to pay for all that? How's that going to work when people aren't going? And does this bubble? Is it a bubble? Is it a real estate bubble? Now, it's certainly not a real estate bubble like 2008. Why do I say that? Well, because in 2008, people were getting homes that were not qualified to be getting homes. Back in 2008, everyone's hopefully have seen The Big Short, which is an all-time favorite movie out there. But in as it was in The Big Short, and many of you lived through all that in real estate and survived it, is that we were giving loans out to anybody who was breathing was getting a loan. The federal government was encouraging banks to give out the loans, and people are way willing to get the loans even if they couldn't afford it. Okay, enough blame to go around on all that. This is in the housing crisis that we're in right now. On it, but there's other factors that are in play that we need to talk about. So I don't think it's a bubble, but I do think we're going to have some, or we're going to experience some cooling down of the market. Some, while others are still going to areas of the country, cities are going to continue to grow. Maybe not at the same level of 18 to 19%. Now, why do I say that? Well, again, people getting loans today are qualified. They've got jobs. Now, companies are trying to figure out across the country is how are we going to deal with the employees that we have now, and how are we going to get them back to work? Are they going to come back to the office, or are they going to stay at home? This is what's fueling some of the suburb, eburb type of stuff that's moving around, where people are shifting. Where are they going to live? I don't have to live in the city here. I can live anywhere in the country I want to live. That kind of stuff, where people are shifting and moving around on it. Companies are moving to certain friendly areas, whether it's tech, moving to very tech heavy employment areas, or tax friendly areas out there. I think what we need to be preparing for is a similar type of environment that we have today, where we have low listings, we have a low inventory, but we have a high buyer's market. We have a lot of people who want to buy homes with very limited homes. Now, why do I say that? It's because I think companies have made commitments to move to these areas, or to grow in particular areas of the country where they see, where they see the best potential for growth, where they see the best potential for employee recruitment, where they can keep either wages down or less than where they're currently at now. And with that, it's going to fuel jobs coming into these particular cities. But the housing industry isn't going to be, everyone's moving slower. We don't have builders that are just reaching out now today to get everything and take everything down that they can get their hands on. They're being somewhat conservative. They don't want to fall into the traps that they had in 2008, where they just overbought and therefore were stuck and went belly up. We also have the population who own homes, the tail end of the baby boomers, the 50-year-olds right now, who are electing to stay in place. They don't want to sell, because if they sell, where are they going to move to? They're going to have to pay X amount of price higher for it. So, right, it's not a buyer's market, but if I got to sell, I got to go buy, which means while I profit from the selling side, I'm going to lose on the buying side. So why move at all? I'll renovate. I'll make this house more user-friendly to me, which is going to add to the shortage of the homes that we currently have on the market. So this is going to continue to fuel the current situation that we have now, with an extremely high seller's market, people wanting to buy homes. Now, that's the unknown. I pay attention to the consumer confidence index. And if people are happy and they want to buy, then that, in my opinion, is going to help fuel home sales. Home sales while people want housing, people, and they desire certain things, if they're happy and they're feeling good, they're going to go out and buy that house. They're going to want to go out on the pretty day and the fall day. They want to go out and look at houses and see all the new stuff and go out and buy that. That's what I pay attention to. If they feel bad, if the economy's bad, if we're get into a new war, if bad things like that happen, they're going to hunker down, especially if there starts to be talk about economic challenges ahead. They're going to start to either hold on to their money or be more cautious on it. So for me and our firm, the advice that I'm giving out and that I'm taking and applying to my personal business is that I'm still going out and looking for those listings. Those listings are going to be crucial because they're selling quickly on it. We're going to need those. But on the buying side, I'm also preparing that we're going to have to even work, as we're working now, as tough as ever to try and get those deals through the pipeline. Right? We're working 5 times, as we talked about last week, we're working 5-6 times harder than we were a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, pre-COVID. And so we're going to, I think we're going to experience then if this is going to keep going this way for another year, we're going to see more agents drop off who've been in the business because they're not getting to get the sales. Remember last week we talked about the fact 400,000 agents, brokers out there didn't make a dime on it. But at the same time, if the numbers don't go up as far as jobs, if our jobs numbers don't start hitting their marks, then we're going to see more people applying to become realtors out there or licensees and to try and sell real estate, as it feels like people think of it as easy money, not realizing how difficult it is, right? So we'll have folks dropping off, we'll have new flux coming in. So real estate agents are going to kind of, I think, be flat on it. We won't have the peaks that we've been seeing. It'll probably stay steady on that. I think the people that are doing the business is still going to be the top 10% are going to be doing the majority of the business. The ones who are going to be leading the listing side are probably going to be your big bang, your divas that are out there doing it. Not that anyone can't make money out there. In fact, there's plenty of pie to do it. You're just going to have to work harder at it and finding those individuals, and the buyers that you do find and that are qualified, they're going to have to experience, as we already know, and they're happening with cars and everything else. They're going to have to pay more than what the list prices are coming out there. And with that, with them and making sure we're informing them that the likelihood that this is going to stay priced and increase 18 to 20%, as they've been saying year over year, isn't going to happen. At some point, we're going to have a cooling. And then when that happens, that's what we're hoping. What you guys do as agents for your business model is you're saving money now, packing some of that away for then when this arc starts to cool off. It's not a bubble, I don't think. Is it going to burst and the housing market is going to collapse? But we're going to have a trend line that's going to start to go back down on this and slowly kind of peter out for a while, like we do all the time. Every time there's a recession, that type is going to happen. I know there are words out there like stagflation in what we're saying, and you guys can investigate that on your own and your determination. But as far as our business goes, I think you got to go and get all that you can today on that. Sock some stuff away, pay off your debts out there, try and be as cash only as you need to be, meaning try not to go and take on more credit, get it all paid off, and then save some money so when that downtime comes, you're prepared for it. Always feeding that pipeline though. You're going to have to work a lot harder out there to get those buyers and sellers. Most importantly, getting those sellers. All right, guys, that's it for the week. We'll talk to you later.